First is the gradient operator, which is denoted by letter nabla. And yes, when it is being operated on a scalar, so result will be your vector quantity always. So this is a very important point regarding this gradient, which is denoted by letter del or nabla. Second concept that we had seen is what? The divergence. So divergence vector is denoted by again letter nabla bar and generally operated on the vector, and result will be always what? Your scalar quantity. Result will be what? Your scalar quantity. Third, we had seen what? The concept of the curl, and it is again denoted by what? Your nabla cross. Divergence is denoted by what? Your nabla dot. So again it can be operated on the vector, but yes, the result will be always what? Your vector quantity. Result will be what? Your vector quantity. Now we had seen, if we want to find out what the curl of a bar, which is denoted by what? Your del bar cross a bar equals to what? First row will be what? Your unit vector. So in our case we have unit vector I cap, j cap, k cap. Second row will be what? Your del bar. So del by del x, del by del y, del by del z. And third row will be what? Your second vector scalar. So in our case ax, ay and az. Now you can solve this determinant using your Cramer's rule. So with this concept, today we are going to see an important point from the say electromagnetic field, and that is what? The surface integral to what? Your line integral. And at the same time we can convert this line integral into surface integral. Now here one point to be noted, that this line integral will be always what? Your single integration. Will be what? Your single integration. And at the same time the surface integral will be always what? Your double integration. So today we are going to see an important concept from the electromagnetic field theory, that is the conversion. That is the conversion of what? The surface integral to what? Your line integrals, and line integral to what? Your surface integral. Now while dealing with such a case, care must be taken. This line integral is also known as what? Your contour integral, or sometime it is also known as what? Your closed loop integral also. So therefore, while solving this with the help of your mathematical concept, this line integral, this contour integral, or this closed loop integral will be always what? Your single integration. Will be what? Your single integration. At the same time, this surface integral generally solve with what your double integration method. Double integration method. And therefore, now we can say that actually we are converting this double integration into what, this single integration, and this single integration into what, this double integration. So in electromagnetic field theory, we have an important theorem which converts the double integral into single integral, or single integral into the double integral, and that theorem is known as your Stokes theorem. So with the help of this Stokes theorem, we can convert actually this double integration into what, your single integral, and this single integral to what, your double integration. So this Stokes theorem help us to convert the multiple integrals into single and single into multiple. I hope you understand the concept. Now, what the Stokes theorem states? First, we try to understand it, and then we'll move towards the actual mathematical proof. Now, see students, we can solve the Stokes theorem by n number of methods. And for our syllabus, I already told you that whatever I'm going to explore or what I'm going to teach you regarding the electromagnetic field theory, all of the things are from the textbook by TVS Arun Murthy, Yeschand publication. Now, if you see the explanation of the Stokes theorem in the book, they use the different method, and that method is very, very small. You may use it, but my suggestion to you is that please don't use that method. See why? Because generally for 7 marks, this Stokes theorem may be asked in your university examination, and this time, that is for the 4th semester, please don't rely on the online examination mode. So therefore student, my suggestion is that prepare the Stokes theorem very well, and at the same time I will cover the Stokes theorem in easy way through this video lecture. So if you find any difficulty or doubt regarding this theorem explanation or theorem proof, we will have the discussion after the lecture. So let us first see what the Stokes theorem states with that. So Stokes theorem states that what? Surface integral. So this surface integral is generally denoted by this one. So surface integral of what? Curl of a vector. So vector we are considering what, your f bar. So surface integral of a vector over an open surface equals to the line integral of a vector over a closed loop. So this is the mathematical statement for the Stokes theorem. Now let us see the graphical representation of this Stokes theorem. So consider that one, we have an arbitrary surface. Arbitrary surface means we don't have any perfect surface. Now this arbitrary surface is divided into what? Very, very small surfaces. Now out of these small surfaces, we are considering this much amount of the surface area. So I am drawing that part as a zoom part. Now since we are dealing with a vector, sorry, here it should be a bar, because since we are considering the a bar, since we are dealing with the vector, meaning is that one, it should have the direction. Now for the understanding purpose, we consider that the vector has a direction in a clockwise manner. So therefore what happens? So I am giving nomenclature to this rectangular surface as your P, Q, R, S. So meaning is that one, we are moving from P to Q, then from what, Q to R, then from what, R to S, and then at last from S to P. So with this we are completing our loop. But what happens to this rectangle like this? So I am giving over here, sorry, I will consider over here so that you can understand it very well. So this is what my first arrow, this is what my second arrow, this is will be what your third arrow, and last will be what your fourth arrow. Now see students, for this rectangle there would be what, another 4 rectangles, like what, 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. Now for this third rectangle, if we consider this poly side, so therefore what happens for this, again if we consider the same clockwise direction, so direction will be this one, direction will be this one. Again for the one, the direction will be in what, your opposite side. And for this two, direction will be considered again this same one, so direction will be this one. And for the fourth, again I am considering if the direction will be like this, so therefore direction will be opposite to this one. Now if you see, now if you see the diagram, so therefore what happens, this arrow will cancel this arrow, downward arrow will cancel upward arrow, your left hand arrow will cancel your right hand arrow, and the same case for this one. So therefore what happens, this surface will cancel each other. So likewise this one will cancel this one will cancel this one will cancel this, leaving behind what, only the outer surface vector field, leaving behind what, your only outer surface vector field. And therefore we can say that what, that is surface integral of a curl of a vector is exactly equals to what, line integral of what, your a bar dot dl bar. That is what, we have an surface which is divided into n number of rectangles, and this rectangle will cancel each other. Likewise this one will cancel this one, will cancel this one, will cancel this one. So all these rectangles will cancel each other, leaving behind what, the vector along what, your boundary surface, vector leaving along what, your boundary surface. That is what, at last we get this line integral. Initially we start our discussion from this surface integral, but last will be what, your the line integral. So this is what, your Stokes theorem. I hope you understand the meaning of the Stokes theorem. So definitely I will provide the proof of this same for the studying purpose, but first we explain the proof, try to understand it. I will provide the notes for the same. We have with us what an arbitrary surface, and this arbitrary surface is divided into number of infinitesimal surface. Infinitesimal surface. Now meaning of this infinitesimal means what? Very small. Very small. The size of this rectangle is such that if I put a dot, so this dot will be greater than what? This infinitesimal surface. Such a very small surface we are considering. Now out of such n number of infinitesimal surfaces, I am considering a single very small surface. I am considering this one. Now this is a separate rectangle I will draw over here with a major view so that you can understand it very clearly. So for this rectangle, I am considering the direction of the vector field as what your counterclockwise direction. No doubt you may take the clockwise direction, but for the easy purpose, I am considering the direction of the vector field will be what? In counterclockwise direction. So therefore, I will give the name as what? Your P for this vertex. For this vertex as a Q. For the upper right one R, and upper left one as what? Your S. Now at the same time, I will consider the coordinates of the point P as what? Your x comma y. For the point P, I am considering the coordinate as what? Your x comma y. Now since the point Q is located at a distance of what? Your delta x. So this distance is what? Your very small, which is equals to what? Your delta x. So therefore, point Q has a coordinate as what? Your x plus delta x comma y, because the y coordinate of both point P and point Q will remains the same, and therefore Q has the coordinate x plus dx comma y. Now similarly, the distance between this Q and R is very small, which I consider as what? Your delta y. So therefore, point R has the same x coordinate because it is located on the same straight line, and therefore has what? The point as x plus dx comma y plus dy, that is what? Your delta y. So this is what? The very small distance from the R. Now similarly, for this S point, x coordinate will remain same, so therefore x will remain same, but see, the distance will remains the same as of your R, which will be what? Your y plus delta y. So this will be the coordinate of the point S. देखिए S के coordinate अगर हम find out करने की कोशिश करते हैं, so therefore x will remains the same for the point P and point S, because same will located on the line passing through the x coordinate. But yes, the difference between S and P differs by what? Your very small distance, which is equals to what? Your delta y, and therefore this will be the coordinates of the point P, Q, R, S, which we are rotating in counterclockwise direction. P x comma y, Q x plus dx comma y, R x plus dx comma y plus dy, and yes will be whatever x comma y plus dy. So this will be the coordinates point of the same thing. So now we can say that, so this will be what your x axis, and this will be what your y axis. This will be what your y axis, and yes, z axis will be what your perpendicular to this plane. Now for this surface area, say PQRS, so area will be ds bar, which is equals to what your delta x delta y, and perpendicular to this one will be what your az cap, will be what your az cap, and therefore we can say that if we want to find the curl of your say vector a bar, consider this vector has a direction and name as what your vector a bar. So therefore now we are going to find what your curl of a bar will be equals to what your z component of what your curl of a bar. कर्ल ऑफ ए बार का z कंपोनेंट क्या रहेगा, कर्ल ऑफ ए बार, दैट इज व्हाट यू आर नॉर्मल टू दिस पॉइंट, एंड इट विल बी इक्वल टू व्हाट डेल बाय डेल एक्स ऑफ ए वाई माइनस डेल बाय डेल वाई ऑफ ए एक्स with this one. Now why we are getting this one value? The reason behind that one, if we solve the matrix of what del bar cross a bar, which will be equals to what your I cap, j cap and k cap. So it will be whatever del by del x, del by del y, del by del z will be whatever ax, ay and az. Now if I want to find the z component, so z component will be whatever this one. So k cap will be whatever del by del x of ay minus del by del y of your ax. So this will be whatever the same thing, that is what the z component of whatever curl of a bar. So please, this point is very very important. This point is very very important. Now here I am going to find out what the surface integral of what curl of a bar over an open surface, so it will be equal to what the value, that is what del by del x of ay minus del by del y of what your ax. So this will be the value for this one, and ds bar, so ds bar will be whatever delta x delta y az cap, so this one, and z component will be what del by del x ay minus del by del y of ax az cap, because this is what your k cap over here. So k cap means az cap. So since we have the az cap over here and az cap over here, so dot, that's why the dot product will be possible, and final value will be what? Final value we have as del by del x of ay minus del by del y of your ax into delta x into delta y. This will be the final value of surface integral of what curl of a vector over an open surface. And this will be what your equation number 1. This will be what? Equation number 1. Now, for reference purpose, I am drawing that rectangle again. So this is what your x-axis, this is what your y-axis. So this is your P, this is what your vector A bar, Q, R and S. So P we have x comma y, S x comma y plus dy, R we know, Q will be whatever x plus dx comma y and will be the same. So point R we are going to write over here, yes, if the permits, will be whatever x plus dx and y plus dy. Okay, now moving towards the next point. Now we want to find out the value of what your PQ bar. We want to find out the value of what your PQ bar, and it will be equal to what? The average value of x component along the path. Now see why we are taking the average value, since the distance PQ is very small. So this distance is equals to what your delta x, which is very small. In front of this dot will be bigger than 1. So therefore what we are doing, the PQ component will be calculated as what? Average value of x along the path, because we don't have the value x comma y and x plus dx plus y. So therefore it is better to calculate what the average value along this path one. See why you are saying this one, because consider this x as what you are say 5.0 and this q will be located at what? 5.00000001. So this is so much small. So now if we subtracting this from 1, what we finally get, that is what? 0.000001. Now this value is very small. This value is very small, and that's why we are calculating the PQ bar as what? Average value of x component along the path. X component along the path. And therefore we can say that PQ bar will be equals to whatever AX, that is component along the x, plus delta of AX divided by what? Delta x by 2. Now see, if we want to calculate the average path, so this will be what? It will be equals to delta AX by 2. Because we don't know the starting point and the ending point, because they are separated by a very small distance. So that's why the average of this one will be whatever delta x by 2. But by the chain rule we can add delta x and delta x over here. So therefore PQ will be whatever AX plus delta x, AX by delta x by 2. Okay. Similarly we can calculate the value of this RS also. See, the direction will be whatever from left towards right, and it will be what? From right towards left. So direction of the RS is what? Opposite to this one. Direction of the RS will be whatever? Opposite to this one, and therefore we can say that RS direction will be whatever? AX plus delta of AX delta x dot delta x by 2. And now we know that the RS is we can say differentiated or having the distance equals to what your delta y. So that's why we are adding over here, that is delta x by what your delta y into what your delta y. Now we know that since PQ and RS have the same magnitude but the direction will be opposite, so therefore if we are going to calculate the value of what your integral from what P to Q a bar dot dl bar plus what r to s a bar dot dl bar, it will becomes to, so for the PQ value will be equal to as ax plus delta ax into delta x by 2. Since the length is along the x, so therefore here we are using what your delta x plus for the rs has what your negative direction, so therefore that's why I am considering here it as negative. So therefore same, the value of the rs will be this one, so ax plus delta ax delta x into delta x by 2 plus delta ax delta y into what your delta x. Now if we are going to solve this bracket, so this ax will cancel, no doubt. Here we have the delta x as a common thing, so ax will cancel each other. Now this delta ax and this delta ax will cancel each other. So therefore what we get from this bracket as a simplified thing equals to what, minus delta ax by delta y into what, delta x delta y. So it will be equals to what your integral from P to Q a bar dot dl bar plus integral r to s a bar dot dl bar, and this is what your equation number 2. We are going to calculate the integral along this sp and what your qr. Now we know that this direction is what your positive, so this direction will be what your negative. So therefore we can say that qr will be exactly what your negative of your sp, and therefore considering from the previous side we can calculate the qr bar equals to what your ay, because since we are traveling along what your y axis, so ay into what your delta of ay by delta y into delta y by 2 plus delta ay by delta x into delta x. Now similarly we can calculate the value of this sp also as what your ay plus what, delta of ay delta y into delta y by 2, because we are taking what, the average value of what your y component along the path. Now therefore we can calculate the value of what your integral from q to r plus s to p. So therefore it will be equal to, for q to r we have the value as your ay plus delta of ay delta y by 2 plus delta of ay by x dot delta x. So for this we have as delta y, because line will be what, line will be along your y axis. Now similarly for p s to p direction will be opposite, so minus ay plus delta of ay by delta y by 2. Now if we are going to solve this one again, no doubt here it will be what your delta y. So this AY will cancel each other. Now this delta AY and this delta AY will cancel each other, leaving behind what? This one, that is delta AY by delta X into whatever delta X delta Y. So this will be whatever 2 equals to whatever this one. Now if we are going to calculate the total line integral, that is whatever from PQRS A bar dot DL bar, so it will be equals to this one, that is what your delta of AY by delta X into delta X delta Y and this one minus of del by del Y of AX delta X delta Y minus delta AX by delta Y into delta X delta Y. So delta X will be common, so it will be what? Del of AY by del X minus del of AX by del Y, what? Delta X delta Y, and this will be equal to what? This value. And therefore we can say that, yes, what we can say that, we can say that surface integral of what? Del bar cross A bar ds bar will be equals to whatever line integral A bar dot dl bar. So students, I hope you understand the proof of the Stokes theorem. So students, with this, today we are going to stop over here. Thank you for your patience. If the difficulty persists or if you don't understand anything, we have the healthy discussion after the video lecture. Thank you.